Hello everyone, welcome to Sunya IAS and welcome to lecture number 5 of Modern Algebra, Mathematics Optional UPSC CSE, and which is asked in your paper 2 section A. Now in the last lecture, we were doing order of elements of composition of groups where G1 cross G2 was forming a group where G1 was a group with respect to identity E1 and G2 was a group with respect to identity E2. Then we saw that the whole proof we saw that G1 cross G2 forms a group where the identity element is going to be E1 comma E2, right? And it is associative and the identity is there and inverse for each element exists, and thus it forms a group. Now the idea behind studying G1 cross G2 was to understand the nature of elements, right? What are the order of elements of such kind of groups? And for one such example we took was 1 comma R90, which belonged to the group Z2 cross D4, right? And we also saw that how to calculate the order of such elements, where you are supposed to take order of the first element and order of the second element, and then you are supposed to calculate the LCM of both. That is going to be collectively the order of the element which is going to belong to G1 cross G2, in this case Z2 cross D4, right? Now today we'll be taking up some more examples. Now first example being, let's see, Z2 cross Z. Now possible orders of elements in Z2. What are the possible orders? Order of elements Z2 can have, they are 1 and 2. Please understand, I am not writing the elements here, I am writing the possible orders of Z2, right? They are 1 and 2. Now possible orders of elements in Z4, that is going to be 1, 2 and 4. Now this gives us the possible orders of Z2 cross Z4. Now they are going to be for each and every pair of the orders of respective groups that we are taking. Those are going to be, we are going to take LCMs for all those possible pairs. So the possible pairs are 1 comma 1, then 1 comma 2, then 1 comma 4, and then second one is 2 comma 1 and 2 comma 2, or I should have written it with little more space. Wait, I should write it. LCM of 1 comma 1 is 1, LCM of 1 comma 2 is 2, then LCM of 1 comma 4 is 4. Now LCM of 2 comma 1 is going to be 2, LCM of 2 comma 2 is 2, and finally LCM of 2 comma 4 is going to be 4. Now if you notice, the elements of Z2 cross Z4 are going to be possibly of order 1, 2 and 4, right? These are the only possible orders the elements of Z2 cross Z4 can have, right? Now we will calculate that how many number of such elements are there. How to calculate that? We are talking about Z2 cross Z4, okay? We pay very close attention, be very attentive while solving these kind of questions, because क्या होता है ग्रुप ऑफ रेसिड्यू में, मतलब ZM में कंफ्यूजन हो जाती है दैट आपके ग्रुप्स के जो एलिमेंट्स होते हैं वो भी सिमिलर लगते हैं एंड जो पॉसिबल ऑर्डर्स होते हैं वो भी सिमिलर लगते हैं. जैसे क्या होता है Z2 में द एलिमेंट्स आर 0 and 1 बट द पॉसिबल ऑर्डर्स आर 1 comma 2. तो कई बार कंफ्यूजन हो जाती है इस चीज़ में, ठीक है? सो बी वेरी केयरफुल ऑफ दैट. नाउ to calculate number of elements of order 1, number of elements of order 1, what is the possibility that the element is going to have order 1? Is that the first element is also identity and the second element is also identity. So यहाँ पे we don't have to do much मेहनत. Why? Because there is always going to be one element that is going to be identity element, that is 0 comma 0, order of this is 1, so number of elements is going to be 1 only. But The real work comes when we are trying to solve for the number of elements of order 2. Now what are the possibilities? The possibilities is that the first element is of order 1 and the second element is of order 2. First element is of order 2 and the second element is of order 1, and both the elements are of order 2, right? So these are the three possibilities where we can get elements of order 2 in a Z2 cross Z4. So what are the possible pairs? 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 2, right? Now understand how many elements are going to be there of order 1 in a Z2. Z2 में हम number of elements of a certain order कैसे निकालते हैं? That is going to be 5D. So number of elements of order 1 in Z2 is going to be 5 of 1. Similarly, number of elements of order 2 in Z4 is going to be 5 of 2. Similarly here, 5 of 2 into 5 of 1, then 5 of 2 into 5 of 2. So this gives you 1 into 1, that is 1, again 1, again 1. So in total, there are going to be totally 3 elements which are going to be of order 2 in Z2 cross Z4, right? Now, similarly, we will calculate number of elements of order 4 in Z2 cross Z4. Now, what are the possibilities that we can get an element of order? We can get an element of order 4. First one is that first element is of order 1 and the second element is of order 4, and the second one is that wait a second, and the second is that the first element is of order 2 and the second element is of order 4, right? So 1, 4 and 2, 4, these are the two possibilities. The number of elements are going to be 5 of 1 into 5 of 4, which is equals to 2. 5 of 4 क्या आएगा? 5 of 2 square, that is going to be 2 square minus 2. Now this is 5 of 2, which is 1, and 5 of 4 again is going to be 2. So there are a total 4 elements which are going to be of order 4 in Z2 cross Z2. Clear? I hope abhi samajh mein aa gaya hoga. You are getting warmed up a little as to how to calculate the order of elements when it comes to composition of, right? Chalo. Next up, we'll take another example. Okay, let's take something of, let's calculate order of element for a specific D. So let's take Z5 cross Z10. Second one is Z5 cross Z10. Now possible orders in Z5 are 1, 5, right? And possible orders in Z10 are going to be 1, 5 and 10, right? Now what are the possible orders of Z5 cross Zn? They are going to be LCM of 1, 1 is 1, LCM of 1, 5, that is 5, then LCM of 1, 10, that is 10, then you have LCM of 5, 1, that is 5, then LCM of 5, 5, that is again 5, and finally LCM of 5, 10, that is 10. Now I want to calculate the number of elements of order 5 in Z5 cross Z10. So for order 5, what are the possibilities? This one, and this one, right? So what do I have to do? Z5 cross Z10. First possibility is that the first element is of order 1 and the second element is of order 5. Then vice versa, right? 5, 1, and then finally both the elements are of order 5 here. Now, okay, So number of elements of order 1 in Z5 is going to be phi of 1 and phi of 5, phi of 5 into phi of, let me write it with a little bit more space. So this is phi of 1 into phi of 5, that is going to be 4. Phi of 5 into phi of 1, that is again going to be 4. I hope यहाँ पे 4 समझ में आ रहा है. 5 raised to the power 1 minus 5 raised to the power 0, that is 5 raised to the power 1 minus 1. That is 5 minus 1, that is going to be 4. So this is phi of 5 into phi of 5. So this is 4 into 4, that is 16. So total number of elements of order 5 in Z5 cross Z10 is going to be 4 plus 4 plus how much? 16 is going to be 24. So there are 24 total elements which are of order 5 in Z5 cross Z10. Clear? चलो ये चीज़ें एग्जाम्पल से ही क्लियर होती हैं, ज़्यादा थ्योरी कुछ नहीं है इसमें, ठीक है. So let's switch over from number of elements of order 2 in D3 cross D3. Number of elements of order 2 in D3 cross. Yeah. So D3 and D3 are what? Dihedral groups, right? The order of D3 is 6, right? Now possible orders. Abhi I am not saying that what kind of elements or the elements will have a there is going to be one element which is going to have order 6, right? वो हम अभी कुछ बात नहीं कर रहे हैं, वो cyclic वाला discussion we'll have afterwards only, ठीक है. अभी just for the sake of writing I'm writing. Also we do know that what are the possible elements of D3, right? If we remember, what does D3 look like? D3 is your R20, R0, R120, R240, then you have FAA, FBB and F, right? Where you have elements of order 2 and 3, right? But not any element of order 6. Now, possible orders. Of D3 are 1, 2, 3 and 6. We are just writing अभी 6 क्योंकि अभी हमने cyclic नहीं पढ़ा है, ठीक है. Although we do know that there is no element of order 6 here, but we are just considering it, ठीक है. Now, possible orders of D3 again you can write because we are taking D3 cross D3. So we are just concerned for the elements which are going to be of order 2 here, right? अब आप देखो LCM of 1 comma 1 is not going to give me 2, 1 comma 2 is going to give me 2, right? Then next pair is LCM of 3 comma 1, 3 comma any nothing, कहीं पे भी 2 नहीं मिलेगा मुझे. Now 1 comma 1 is again not giving me, but 1 comma 2, yes, 1 comma 2, or I should say wait, 2 comma 1, 2 comma 1 will give me an element of order 2, and then finally 2 comma 2 will give me an element of order 2. Now I have to calculate that how many such elements are going to be there. So in D3 cross D3, what are the possibilities? 1 comma 2, 2 comma 1 and 2 comma 2 comma 2. Now number of elements of order 2 in a group which is dihedral and n is equals to odd. For that, what was the formula? That if n is odd, then number of elements is equals to n only, and if n is even, then number of elements of order 2 is going to be n plus 1, right? So here number of element of order 1 is 1 only, right? आपका identity element. Now number of elements of order 2 is going to be 3 here. Now similarly 3 into 1 here and 3 into 3 here. So total number of elements of order 2 is going to be 3, 3 and 9. So in total you will have 15 elements which are going to be of order 2 in D3 cross D3. Clear? चलो अब अभी हम क्या हो गया, we have talked about group of residues. Now we have talked about how to deal with dihedral groups जब वो enter करते हैं. अब dihedral groups में the number of elements of order D other than 2 is calculated how? That is 5D only, right? वो तो easy है, कोई बात नहीं, उसका भी एक example ले लेंगे अभी. चलो अब moving on to the next type. अब ना तो हम Zn consider करेंगे and ना ही we will consider Dn. We'll consider a mixture of another two groups. Let's take D3 cross Q8. Okay, Q8 or Q4, whatever you want to call it. ठीक है, and we are not going to solve all of them, all of the types of orders that you are going to find here. We are just going to solve for elements of order 2 and 4. Clear? Find number of elements of order 2 and now possible orders are in D3 1, 2, 3 and 6, although 6 is not present. Then for Q8 do we remember the group Q8? It is plus minus 1, plus minus I, plus minus j, plus minus k. And it has elements of order 1, 2 and 4, right? Okay. Now possible orders of D3 cross LCM of 1, 1 is 1, then LCM of 1, 2 is 2, then LCM of 1, 4 will be 4, then LCM of 2, 1 will be 2, then LCM of 2, 2 again will be 2, then finally LCM of 2, 4 will be 4. Now we are not going to take 3, 1, 3, 2, 3, 3. Why? Because LCM is going to be 6 here and LCM is going to be 12 here. We are only considered with the elements of order 2 and 4 in D3 cross Q8, right? Chalo. Okay, so number of elements of order 2. What are the possibilities? 1, 2 and 3, right? So if I take D3 cross Q8 1, 2, 2, 1 and 2, right? Now number of elements of order 1 in D3 is 1 only, right? Now number of elements of order 2 in Q8, how many elements are there? एक तो 1 is there, 1 is of order 1 only, minus 1 is of order 2 and rest all the elements are of order 4. If you remember, iota to the power 4, j to the power 4 and k to the power 4, and similarly for the negative ones, right? So there is only one element of order 2. Now similarly in D3, how many elements of order 2? याद करने की कोशिश करो. D3, n is odd, so number of elements of order 2 are going to be 3. So this is 3 into 1, here we have 3, and then number of elements of order 2 in D3 is again 3, and number of elements of order 2 in Q8 is 1. So this is 3. So you will have a total 1 plus 3 plus 3, that is 7 elements of order 2 in D3 cross. Clear? अब जब कोई नया तरीके का आपका ग्रुप आ जाता है, that is in this case Q8, वहाँ पे आपको स्पेसिफिकली याद रखने की ज़रूरत है दैट व्हाट काइंड ऑफ एलिमेंट्स आर देयर इन द ग्रुप, जिसमें 1 है, -1 है, रेस्ट ऑल ग्रुप्स ऑल एलिमेंट्स आर ऑफ ऑर्डर 4, 1 इज ऑफ ऑर्डर 1 एंड -1 इज ऑफ ऑर्डर 2. क्लियर? तो जब ऐसा केस है तो यू आर सपोज टू सॉल्व इट लाइक दिस. नाउ फॉर 4 the possibilities are 1, 4 and 2, 4. So D3 cross Q8, 1, 4 and 2, 4, right? Okay. The number of elements of order 1 in D3 is going to be 1, and number of elements of order 4 in Q8, how many are there? 6 elements are there. Plus minus iota, plus minus j, plus minus k, right? So this is going to be 6. Number of elements of order 2 in D3, they are 3, and number of elements of order 4 in Q8 is 6. So 6 3s are 18. So total number of elements are going to be 20 elements of order 4 in D3 cross. Chalo. Now take a question. Okay, I'm going to write one question here. I would like very much that if you pause this video and try to solve this question by yourself. Okay. Let G equals to Z7 cross Z7 cross Z7 cross Z7. This is 1000 times right? Then find the number of elements. Then find the number seven. So you are supposed to find the number of elements of order 7. First of all, understand what is the order of G here. Okay? What is the order of G? The order of G is what? We multiply the order of each of the group which is by which we are composing the group, right? G1 का order लेके G1, 2, G3, G4 सबके orders को we multiply to get the order of the composition of the groups. Now here, what is the order going to be? 7 cross 7 cross 7 cross 7, and this is going to be 1000 times, right? Those who want to try can definitely pause the video here and try by themselves. So the order of the group is going to be 7 to the power 1000. That means it has a total 7 to the power 1000 elements in it, right? Now just understand, what are the possible orders? What are the possible orders of elements in G? क्या possible orders होंगे? Let's say पहला element is of order 1, right? Then the second element is of order 7. Then the second element is of order 7. Sum is 1, 1, 7 and so on, right? Why so? Because everywhere there are only two types of element in every Z7. There is going to be elements of order 1 and 7 only, right? So whatever the pairs you are going to make here, कोई भी element आप उठाओगे इस G से, उसका जो आपका order होगा, it is going to be 7 only. Why? Because you are going to take LCM of 7 cross 7, 7, 7 or 1, 1, 1, and then finally 1, 7 is going to be there, right? So if you understand, other than the identity element, every element is going to contain 7 in it. Matlab, the order of element is going to have 7 in it, right? So every other element of the group G is going to be of order 7, right? Except for one element, that is going to be your identity element. So number of elements of order 7 equals to total number of elements minus identity element. That is 7 raised to the power 10,000 minus 1. So these are the total number of elements which are going to be of order 7 in the group. Clear? Chalo. Moving on to the next question. Next is, let's take, I guess this is the 5th group we are taking, Z4 cross star. Now if we remember, Q star is a group of rational numbers with respect to multiplications, right? Okay, so possible orders of Z4 is 1, 2 and 4, and then possible orders of Q star is equals to 1, 2 and infinity, right? Q star group क्या था आपके m by n, all the elements, right? And 0 was not there, right? And also the orders were 1 का order was 1, -1 का order was 2, but rest all the elements were of order infinite, right? Chalo, you're not writing the group right now. Let's just focus on the types of elements that we are going to get in Z4 cross Q star. Now, possible orders in this G group. LCM of 1, 1 is 1. LCM of 1, 2 is 2. Then infinite, obviously we are not considering. If one element is going to be there in the ordered pair, which is going to be of infinite order, then obviously the whole element is going to be of infinite order only. Okay. So now, then we'll take LCM of 2, 1, that is 2. Then LCM of 2, 2, that is 2. And finally, 2, 1, 2, 2, and then LCM of 4, 1 equals to 4, and LCM of 4, 2 is again 4, right? Chalo. So let's see, up element of order, number of elements of order 1 to 1 ही होगा, this to we know, right? Let's calculate the order of elements of order 2, number of elements of order 2. So number of elements of order 2, Z4 cross Q star. What are the possibilities? 1, 2, 2, 1 and 2, 2, right? Now, number of elements of order 1 in 5, 4, Z4 is going to be 5 of 1. Number of elements of order 2 in Q star is 1. This is nothing but 1. Number of elements of order 2 is 5, 2 into 1, that is 1. And then again it is going to be 5, 2 into 1, that is 1. So there are a total 3 elements of order 2 in Z4 cross Q star. Similarly, we can calculate for 4, that is Z4 into Q star. What are the possibilities? 4, 1. So 4, 1 and 4, the number of elements of order 4 in Z4 is going to be 5 of 4. Number of elements of order 1 in Q star is going to be 1. So this is 2 into 1, that is 2. Then 5 of 4 again into 1. अब यहाँ पे जल्दी जल्दी में confusion में हम 2 ही लिख देते हैं, ठीक है? So be very careful of that. So here it is going to be 2 into 1. So total 4 elements are there of order 4 in Z4 cross Q star, right? अब यहाँ पे this was just to give you an idea as to how composition of groups work, ठीक है? D3 क्रॉस D3 हो गया. अब आप मेजरली तो हम जिन ग्रुप्स में डील करते हैं उनमें आप कर ही लोगे. नाउ देर इज वन प्रॉब्लम इन वन ग्रुप विच इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. हम ZM तो कर चुके, बट देर वॉज अनदर ग्रुप विद रिस्पेक्ट टू मल्टीप्लिकेशन मॉडुलो विच वॉज वॉट, विच वॉज UN, राइट? बट हाउ टू कैलकुलेट दैट? बिकॉज UN का तो हम बस कार्डिनैलिटी कैलकुलेट करते हैं किससे? Phi n से, right? But how to calculate the type of elements, or let's say if I want to know what kind of elements are going to be there in, let's say, U100, okay, so how am I going to judge them? So for that we have a set of formula that is going to help you to understand how UN is going to be, or how the elements are going to be in the group UN. Just write them. I hope everybody is at least somewhat familiar with the idea of isomorphism. Why? Because isomorphism की जब हम बात करते हैं तो basically we say that एक one one onto, that is bijection आपका exist करता है from one group to another. In detail बाद में पढ़ेंगे, लेकिन एक rough idea के लिए, right? तो इसका मतलब क्या होता है बेसिकली कि आप क्या कर रहे हो, यूनिकली एक एलिमेंट को दूसरे एलिमेंट से रिलेट कर रहे हो, विच इज गोइंग टू हैव द एग्जैक्ट सेम प्रॉपर्टीज एज दैट ऑफ द फर्स्ट ग्रुप. ठीक है, सो दोनों एलिमेंट्स की प्रॉपर्टीज एग्जैक्टली सेम होगी. तो एक तरीके से आइसोमॉर्फिज्म बेसिकली क्या करता है, वो कहता है कि भाई ये वाला जो ग्रुप है वो आपका दूसरे वाले ग्रुप से एग्जैक्टली सिमिलर है in terms of properties, in terms of number of elements of a certain order, in terms of overall cardinality, in terms of let's say cyclicity, in terms of abelian, everything. आपका commutative, associative, हर property से लेके, खैर associative नहीं, obviously it is going to be associative since it's a group, but every property is going to be similar to that of the first group, right? अब बस इतना समझो यहाँ पे कि हम un को क्या करेंगे, we are going to convert it into आपका zm. Zm is a known group to us. उसके elements हम फटाफट से निकाल लेते हैं using phi n, right? So how to express un in terms of Zms? That is group of residues that we are going to see here. So first of all, u2 is isomorphic to z1. ठीक है, that means basically आपके कौन से elements हैं जो कि आपके less than or equals to 2 हैं and they are co-prime to 2. ठीक है, now then you have u2 square is isomorphic to z2. Then you have u 2 raised to the power r is isomorphic to z2 into z 2 raised to the power r minus 2. Then you have u of p raised to the power r is similar to z phi of pr, where p is not equal to 2, right? And then you have umn, ये तो हमने पहले भी पढ़ा है, is similar to um cross, where gcd of m comma n equals to 1, right? So basically we are talking about when we can express a number in terms of separate powers of prime numbers, right? It is when हम उसको क्या कर सकते हैं, we can write it in the form of composition of groups. यहाँ पे m is going to be one power of a prime number and n is going to be another power of a prime number, right? And these two are going to be co-primes. That means the GCD of those elements is going to be 1. Now let's take some example. ठीक है, example के बिना obviously हमें समझ नहीं आता है. So the second example, first example we are going to take is u of 20. Now we have to see, can I express it? अगर आप formula list देखोगे तो सबसे पहले u2 is isomorphic to z1. इन दोनों की as such obviously हमें बहुत ज़्यादा ज़रूरत नहीं पड़ेगी. We just need these two. ये बहुत important है. Just number them. And 5, right? Now whenever n is in the form of some power of 2, simply what am I supposed to do? z2 into z2 raised to the power r minus 2. Clear? Second example is when formula is when the number is in the form of some other prime numbers power apart from 2. तो सिंपली z into phi of p raised to the power r. बस ये दो चीज़ें याद रखनी है, ये तो हमें ऑटोमेटिकली याद ही है. Now u20, how can I write u20? It is 5 into 4, which is equal to 5 into 2 raised to the power 2, right? Now which can be written as u5 cross u2 square. Now which is going to be isomorphic to what? u5 आपका स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड क्या है, 5 raised to the power 1. किसकी फॉर्म में है, p raised to the power 1 where p is not equal to 0. So it is going to be isomorphic to z phi of 5 raised to the power 1 and u2 square कैसे कैलकुलेट करना है, ये आपका है सीधा z2 से आइसोमॉर्फिक. Now z phi of 5 is going to be what, z4. Now if you are going to calculate all the elements, or if you are going to find out all the elements which are going to be co-prime to 20, और आप उस सारे elements का आप एक group बनाओगे with respect to multiplication modulo, it is going to be isomorphic to the group Z4 cross Z2. Clear? Chalo. Let's take one more example. Let's say you have 8, U8. U8 can be written as U2 to the power 3. Now we know that for 2 raised to the power r, where r is not equals to 2, what we are supposed to do? It is isomorphic to Z2 cross Z2 raised to the power 3 minus 2. So this is going to be isomorphic to Z2 raised to the power 2 raised to the power 1. So U8 is going to be isomorphic to the group Z2 cross Z2, right? Another example, U100. Now U100 can be written as U 5 square into 2 square. Now U5 square and U2 square can be written separately. Now U5 square is what? It is in the form of p raised to the power r, where p is not equals to 2. So simply it is going to be isomorphic to z of 5 square, right? Into U2 square. This was isomorphic to Z2. Now this is going to be isomorphic to, wait. Now this is going to be isomorphic to Z 5 square minus 5. That is what? 25 into 25 minus 5. Okay? So this is 5 square minus 5 cross Z2, which is isomorphic to Z25 minus 5 cross Z2, is isomorphic to Z20 into Z5. So if you are going to take a group of 100, U100, and you are going to take all the elements which are going to be co-prime to 100 and less than 100, it is going to be isomorphic to the group Z20 cross Z5. Clear? Chalo. I guess with this we are done with our composition of functions wala cheese. There is this question. If you want, you can pause your video and you can just think of what all we have studied till date, and is it a possibility that we can have a group or element where this condition will be satisfied. That is it possible that A belongs to G and B belongs to G, and order of A and order of B is equals to infinite, but order of A, B, the product of that is equals to finite? Just think about it for a minute and then I will let you know the answer. Can we take the group as Q star, comma, with multiplication, the binary operation being the multiplication. So let A equals to 2, right? 2 is going to belong to Q star, and order of 2 is what? Infinite, right? कोई problem नहीं है. Why? Because I need to multiply 2 some n number of times in order to get 1, which is not possible. So that is why order of 2 is going to be infinite. Now let me take another one. A dash is half. Again, the order of A dash is going to be infinite. So order of A and order of B, both the elements is infinite. But when I multiply these two elements, I get an element whose order is going to be 1, which is what? The order of this element is finite. So yes, it is a possibility that we take two elements which are of infinite order, and the product of those two, or the binary composition of those two, is going to be what? Is again going to be finite, right? So this is a very good example. Thoda sa brainstorming ke liye it is a good exercise, right? Chalo, let's start with the next topic. Now, the theorem says the order of every element of a finite group is finite and is less than or equal to the order of the group. Basically, what it means is that if I take any element A of a finite group, then the order of that element cannot exceed the order of the group, right? So this is what we are going to prove here. proof is pretty simple. What you're supposed to do is basic concepts पे चलेंगे पहले. Order of A is less than or equal to order of G को prove करने से पहले we are supposed to prove that order of A is going to be finite, right? चलो, let G be a group or a finite group, right? And A belongs to G. Then by closure property, I can say that A dot A will belong to G, A dot A dot A will belong to G, and similarly A dot A dot A dot A dot is also going to belongs to G, right? Now A comma A square comma A cube up till all of the elements that we are going to obtain here are elements of G, but G is finite. This implies that all the elements A square, A cube, A to the power 4 and so on cannot be distinct, right? They cannot be distinct. क्यों? क्योंकि तो G is finite. अगर G finite नहीं होता तो आप n number of times इसको कितना भी चलाते रहते, it could have like went on and on forever. But here since G is finite, these all elements are not going to be distinct, right? So this implies that let A raised to the power R and A raised to the power S belongs to G, where A raised to the power equals to A raised to the power S, right? Now since A raised to the power R and A raised to the power S belong to G, now A raised to the power minus S is also going to belong to G, है ना? Inverse भी belong करेगा since it is a group, right? So now here we can take R is greater than S, and this will say that R is greater than R minus S is greater than 0. Now, if I multiply this expression by A raised to the power minus S on both sides, I am going to get A raised to the power R minus S equals to A raised to the power 0, which is equals to E, right? Now, R minus S is a number which is greater than 0. Can I call it as M equals M? R minus S को M लिख सकते हैं, right? And M is greater than 0. Now this can be written as A raised to the power M equals to E. So this implies that there exists M, an arbitrary natural number for which A raised to the power M equals to identity, right? Now every collection of positive integers contains a least element. See, आप कोई भी एक m आर्बिट्ररी वैल्यू ले लो, राइट? इसमें आप a raised to the power 1, a raised to the power 2, फिर उसके बाद कहीं जाके a raised to the power m is going to come, right? But every such collection, जो भी आप एक m की वैल्यू लोगे, let's say 1000 ले लिया, 5000 ले लिया, for every that value there is going to be an n value which is going to be the least of that particular collection of positive integers, right? So every collection of positive integers contains a least number, say n. So this implies that there exist n belongs to natural numbers such that a raised to the power n equals to e, right? Arbitrary m है तो हम कोई भी value ले सकते हैं. That means that order of A is equals to finite, right? Now that means n is finite. Now to prove that if order of A is less than or equals to order of n, we can take a point that is going to be contradictory to what we want to prove. Let order of G be less than n. Right. Now in the previous slide we saw the distinct elements of G. Let's say the elements are A raised to the power 1, A raised to the power 2, A raised to the power 3 up till A raised to the power n, which is equals to E. And all these elements belong to G. G is a finite group, right? And A raised to the power n equals to G, where A1, A square, A cube and till an are distinct elements. So this implies that order of G has to be n. But what have we assumed? We have assumed that order of G is less than order of A, that is your n. So this fails our contradiction as to what we had assumed here. Okay, since आपका order of G is equals to n, it can never be equal to n. It can never be less than n, right? So this implies that order of G is never less than n. This implies that order of A is always less than or equals to order of G, right? All right, moving on, we have a set of three basic what you would call formula as to how elements of a group interact with each other. So order of A is always going to be equal to order of its inverse. Okay, ये हमने सारे groups में भी देखा था, right? When we were calculating the elements of we were calculating the order of elements of dihedral groups, there we saw कि आपके जो inverses हैं उन सब के elements के order क्या आ रहे हैं, equal आ रहे हैं, right? अभी यहाँ पे we'll just take a proof for that. So first one says order of A equals to order of A inverse. Now proof. Again contradiction से prove करेंगे. Let's say let order of A equals to n and order of A inverse be m, right? So this implies that there exists m such that order of, or I should say A raised to the power minus 1 to the power m equals to E, and there exists n such that A raised to the power n equals to E. Any problem? Right? Chalo. Okay. Now we want to prove that m and n are equal. So let's start with this expression here. So A raised to the power minus 1, ठीक है, let's start with A raised to the power n actually. A raised to the power n equals to E. Alright, see, if I take inverse on both sides, A raised to the power n raised to the power minus 1, E raised to the power minus 1. Now this can be written as A raised to the power minus 1, or I can add one more step here. This can be written as A raised to the power minus n, E raised to the power minus 1. E raised to the power minus 1 is again going to be E only. So this can be written as A raised to the power minus 1 to the power n equals to E. Now this implies that order of A inverse is less than n, less than or equals to n, right? Ab order of A inverse is definitely going to be less than order of n, right? This implies that m is less than n. Name this equation as 1, right? Now let's take the second equation, that is A raised to the power m equals to E. A inverse raised to the power m equals to E. Now can I write it as A raised to the power minus m equals to E? Then A raised to the power m raised to the power minus 1 is going to be equals to E, right? Can I take inverse on both sides? this is going to be a raised to the power m equals to e raised to the power minus 1. That means a raised to the power m equals to e. So this implies that order of a is going to be less than equals to order of, or I should say m, right? A raised to the power m is also equals to e, so that means order of a is going to be less than equals to m, and this implies that what is order of a? N is less than n, and n is going to be less than m. So this is equation 2. Now by 1 and 2 I can say, what was the first equation? First equation was saying that m is less than equals to n, and the second equation says that n is less than equals to m. So this implies that n is equals to m. So both of these conditions can only be possible if n is equals to m. Now this implies that a, order of a and order of a inverse is same. Clear? Chalo. Next up we have order of a is equals to order of xa x inverse is equals to order of x inverse ax, right? Chalo, let's prove it. Wait a second. So it says order of a is equals to order of xa x inverse equals to order of x inverse a x, right? And then there is third one that we'll take up after this. So we have to prove that order of a, any element a, and if I'm multiplying any other element and its inverse by it on the left hand side and the right hand side, then the order of that element is going to be same as that of the original element, that is your a, right? So to prove this, let order of a equals to n and order of xa x inverse be m, right? So we want to show that m equals to n. Okay, what is the simplest way of showing this? That m is less than equals to n and n is less than equals to m, then we can say both of them are equal, right? So we'll start from let's say xa x inverse. So we want to show that m is less than n, right? So if m is going to be less than n, I want to show that xa x inverse raised to the power n is going to give me e. Clear? Now can I write this as xa x inverse xa x inverse xa x inverse n times, right? Each of this unit n times, right? Now pay attention, what am I going to get? Every time I have x inverse here and here, यहाँ पे भी x inverse आएगा, right? So x inverse into x is going to be e, that is your identity element, right? So from here I can write xa, this x inverse and x is going to give me e, then ae continue till ea x inverse, right? Now these e are going to make no difference, right? And this a is going to appear how many times? As many times we have multiplied xa x inverse. So we are going to get x inverse where a has been written n times, right? So this is going to give me x a raised to the power n x inverse, and I know what is a raised to the power n. A raised to the power n is going to be e. यहाँ पे you can write, this implies that there exists n belongs to natural number such that a raised to the power n is e, and there exists m belongs to natural number such that xa x inverse raised to the power m equals to e, right? So from here I can write xe x inverse, and this is going to give me eventually e. So xa x inverse raised to the power m equals to e. This is going to imply what? That order of xa x inverse is either equals to n or less than n. So that means m is less than equals to n, right? So the first part is proved. Now we have to show it the other way around because हमें equal दिखाना है, right? So now what I'll do is I'll take XA x inverse raised to the power m. This is going to be E, right? Now, again, can I write it as XA x inverse, XA x inverse, how many times? M times, right? So this is going to give me x a raised to the power, or proper लिख लेते हैं, a x inverse E. Now here I am going to get x a raised to the power m x inverse equals to E. All right, now I want to show that a raised to the power m is also equals to E. Then I will be able to say that m is less than or equals to n, right? Sorry, n is less than equals to m. So n is less than equals to m के लिए I want to show that a raised to the power m is equals to E. So हमें इसको इस तरीके से modify करना पड़ेगा, किस equation को, x a raised to the power m x inverse E को हमें इस तरीके से modify करना पड़ेगा such that I am able to remove x and x inverse from here, right? So pay attention. What we can write it as, E को x inverse लिख सकते हैं, they are elements of the group only, right? Now from left cancellation law I can cancel x on both sides, right? And similarly I can cancel x inverse on both sides, right? So this gives me a raised to the power m equals to E. So whatever the order of a is going to be, it is going to be either equal to m or less than m. So order of a is less than or equals to m. This implies that n is less than or equals to m. So this is second equation. By 1 and 2 I can say n equals to m, right? And this implies that order of a equals to order of x a x inverse, and similarly we can show that order of a equals to order of x inverse ax, right? So hence proved. Now there was one extra point in this question only, which was that order of AB equals to order of BA, right? Order same रहेगा even if you interchange the order. So इसको कैसे prove करेंगे? We can use the same postulate as this. This thing we can use to prove this. कैसे होगा? See, simple है, very simple. आप क्या कर सकते हो? AB को you can write as ABE, right? Now I can show AB A inverse, ऐसे लिख सकते हैं E को A inverse. So this is going to give me what? A inverse equals to AB, right? So यहाँ से क्या पता लग जाएगा? That if an element is of this form, then the orders are going to be same. So this implies that order of AB equals to order of BA inverse. This implies that order of AB equals to order of BA. Clear? So from this we can prove all these three theorem or formula or whatever you want to call it, right? The next theorem says that the order of any positive integral power of an element A in a group G cannot exceed the order of an element A. That means proof. Let's say let A belongs to G and order of A equals to n. This implies that there exists n belongs to natural number such that A raised to the power n equals to E. Also, A raised to the power R equals to E. What I have to prove here is not A raised to the power R. Wait. the order of any positive integral power of an element. Let's say that integral power is a raised to the power r. That means now this m cannot exceed the value of n. मतलब इस integral power of the same element का जो order होगा, it can never exceed the order of the original element, right? So basically we are supposed to prove that m is less than or equals to n. Clear? Now just pay attention, it is very easy, फटाफट से prove हो जाएगा. So let's take a raised to the power n equals to e. A raised to the power n raised to the power r and e raised to the power r. Can I write it like this? Right. Now this is going to be what? A raised to the power r to the power n equals to e. Now from this equation, can I say that order of a raised to the power r is less than or equals to n? And what is order of a raised to the power r? That is m. So that means m is less than or equals to n. Hence proved, right? Simple है, कुछ नहीं किया हमने. क्या assume किया that a raised to the power n is equals to e, and a raised to the power is the integral power of the element a and its order is m, right? And then we used a raised to the power n equals to e and we substituted, or we applied power r on both the sides, and then we got that if a raised to the power r to the power n is equals to e, then it has to be, the order of a raised to the power r has to be less than or equals to n. That means m is going to be less than n, right? All right. Next one is that if a is an element of order n and p is a relatively prime number, is relatively prime to n, then a raised to the power p is also of order n. Now what does it say? Let a belongs to G and order of a equals to n. This implies that there exists n belongs to natural number such that a raised to the power n equals to e, right? Also a raised to the power p belongs to G and order of a raised to the power p equals to m, right? So this implies that there exists m belongs to natural number such that a raised to the power p raised to the power m equals to e, right? Where p and n p and n are both co-prime numbers. That means they are relatively prime, मतलब इनके बीच में there is no common factor, right? Now since p and n are co-prime numbers, there exist x comma y belongs to integers such that px plus ny equals to 1. I hope we all remember this result, right? Now using this px plus ny is equals to 1, what we can write is, let's take or I should just consider a. So a raised to the power 1 can be written as a raised to the power px plus ny, right? Now from here I can separate the two powers. So a raised to the power p raised to the power x dot a raised to the power n raised to the power y. Now a raised to the power p raised to the power x can be written as it is, but this is going to convert to a raised to the power y. Why? Because a raised to the power n equals to e only, right? Now this implies that a equals to a raised to the power p raised to the power x, right? Let us name this equation as 1. Clear? Now this can be written as a raised to the power m equals to, can I substitute the value of a from here? That is a raised to the power p raised to the power x, right? This can be written as a raised to the power p raised to the power x raised to the power whole m. Now this I can write it as a raised to the power p raised to the power m raised to the power x. Now what is a raised to the power p raised to the power m? A raised to the power p raised to the power m is nothing but e, right? So this is going to be e raised to the power x, and we all know that a raised to the power m equals to e. Now this implies that order of a is less than or equals to m. This implies that n is less than, this is n is less than or equals to m, right? Let this be equation number 1. Now let's take, अब हमें other way around prove करना है. We want to prove that m is also less than equals to n, right? That we can do by n, a raised to the power n is equals to e, right? A raised to the power n raised to the power p can be written as e raised to the power p, right? So this can be written as a raised to the power p raised to the power n equals to e raised to the power p, right? From here, can I take a value of a raised to the power, what do we need? A raised to the power p. So a raised to the power p, a raised to the power p raised to the power m is going to be equals to e, right? Okay. So can I say from here that order of a raised to the power p is going to be less than or equals to n? And what is the order of a raised to the power p? A raised to the power p is of order m. So that means m is going to be less than equals to n, right? This is going to be equation number 2. By 1 and 2, we can say that m equals to n, right? So this proves that if a is an element of order n and p is relatively, that means it is co-prime to n, then a raised to the power p is also going to be of order n. That means they are going to be of same order, that is m is equals to n. All right, chalo, let's take up the last proof for the day. If a is an element of order, if a is an element of a group G such that order of a is equals to n, then a raised to the power m is equals to e if and only if n is a divisor of n. That means n divides m. First of all, let's say order of a equals to n. So this implies that there exists n belongs to natural number such that a raised to the power n is going to be equals to e, right? Now if n is a divisor of m, so this implies that n is equals to, m is equals to nq, where q is any natural number, right? Now this implies that a raised to the power m equals to a raised to the power nq. Any problem in that? No. From here I can say that a raised to the power n, nq can be written as a raised to the power n multiplied by a raised to the power q. This is nothing but, wait, oh sorry, this can be written as a raised to the power n whole to the power q, and a raised to the power n is equals to what? Identity. So this is going to be e raised to the power q, which is nothing but e, right? So from here we can say that order of a raised to the power m is also equals to e only, right? Now let's take the other way around, because it is an if and only if condition. Now let's say that order of a equals to n and a raised to the power m equals to e. Now we are supposed to prove that when n divides m, it is going to leave a zero remainder, right? So by division algorithm, I can say that m equals to nq plus r, right? अभी हमें ये नहीं पता that n is going to exactly divide m, right? I'm just assuming that I can represent m in terms of n by the help of division algorithm, which is going to be nq plus r. Now a raised to the power m equals to a raised to the power nq plus r. This gives us a raised to the power nq dot a raised to the power r. Now a raised to the power n, q can be written as a raised to the power n whole to the power q dot r, which is going to be e. But now from here we get that a raised to the power m is equals to a raised to the power r. But we know that a raised to the power equals to e, so this implies that a raised to the power r is also supposed to be equals to e only. Now this leaves us with no choice for r, that is going to be 0. And also by division algorithm, what is the possible value of r? Right? Not equals to, it is n. So max to max it can attain a value of n. So from here it cannot attain any value from greater than 0 to n. Why? Because it will not give you the value of e, because n is the least positive integer which gives you the value of identity element when it is raised to the power n, right? So r is definitely going to be 0. So this implies that from here we can write that am equals to an q only. So this is how we can prove the given formula, that if a is an element of group G and order of a is n, and there is another m value which is in a positive integer, and a raised to the power m is equals to e, then it is only possible if and only if n completely divides m, right? So that's all for today. We'll be continuing in the next lecture with more proofs on the groups, right?